really take away much from Summer League because you're playing against a bunch of guys who are going to be playing overseas and in the D League if they're even playing. So
I mean, that's true too. But to Mark's point, though, you would expect him to play well against those guys and not so much against NBA caliber players. Sure. And he's actually kind of flipped that. He played okay in Summer League. It wasn't like he was terrible, but he's played, magnificent so far as a rookie against, and in my opinion, although point guard is very tough to come in as a rookie and do well, center is one of the other hard ones because you're playing against grown physical guys, so he's had no problem with that, none.
You want to know why? You know why Towns is in shape? 2 words: Kevin Garnett.
I think that's a good point. That's a good point.
I think Kevin Garnett should have been in Summer League. I think if he was there, he would have played better.
Good luck.
It's a transformation. Towns' body transformation is kind of the same and similar to me as what Kyle Lowry went through. If you saw Kyle Lowry last year in Toronto,
he's much sharper this year.
He was a little fluffy.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry's not exactly.
That's a nice word to use, I suppose.
Kyle's not exactly been the most buff guy in the NBA, but I saw Kyle on Friday night, and
he's sharp now. He's slimmed up, and
he's well defined. He's well put together. He looks a little swole out there. It's not the Stay Puft Marshmallow he once was. He's actually streamlined his body completely. So it's that same type of transition looking at Towns, and Towns is what, Marc, 19?
Yeah, 19.
This night he doesn't look like he's not built like a 19-year-old rookie in the NBA, and so that's been the surprise. And in Wiggins before last night, the last 2 games Wiggins had been playing, 33 last night against Atlanta in their win, and then 31 against Chicago on Saturday night. They both wins. And Wiggins has developed, I think, one of the best signature moves in the NBA. That spin move dunk that he does.
Spin move.
The spin move dunk that he does is just insane. So if anybody's creating video games, want to do something realistic, add Andrew Wiggins' spin dunk on there because it's a dangerous move. And also the defense he's been playing. You saw what he did to Butler Saturday night. If you didn't, Butler, I think it was 4 for 17 from the floor on Saturday night. And then Kyle Korver shut him down, 2 of 5 shooting. It was pretty much non-existent last night in the Hawks in the game against the Hawks.
Right, and let's talk about what he's done on the offensive end against good defenders. Yeah. Jimmy Butler's a good defender.
Yeah.
Kent Bazemore is a good defender. And last night he was so efficient. What was he, 18 of 25 or something? It was
15 of 22 last night.
15 of 22, excuse me. That's it's still very efficient numbers. I think up going into the fourth quarter, he had only missed 2 shots. He's playing out of his mind right now. This is what we talked about going into the season that we expected him to do. It just kind of took him a couple games, but he's there.
Yeah, and another thing with Wiggins' offense, he's just so smooth.
Yeah.
He just looks like a natural out there, and that spin move that he goes baseline with is
quick,
probably one of the best moves that anybody has in the NBA.
I'll tell you one thing, this is the player when he first came on the scene, 10th, 11th grade. This is the player, we thought we were going to see in the NBA.
Exactly.
And it took him, a little longer than what we thought. You know what I'm saying? Because when I first seen him, I'm like, oh, he's going to be a star immediately, no matter what level he plays at, right? But it took him a little time to get there. Like Kansas, he's okay, show you a little flashy, show you flash in the rookie year, but now he's starting to put it all together. This is the player that we thought we would see. This is man, this guy has next, and I remember talking about it, a couple years back. It's just refreshing to see this.
And Marc, maybe you can agree here. I always thought his biggest problem was his aggressiveness, and that was the same thing with Harrison Barnes. I thought.
Yes.
I thought that Harrison Barnes could have been, and could be still a much better player if he just gets a little more dog to him, a little more aggression, and that's something we're starting to see out of Wiggins now.
Exactly. I completely agree with that. So. For those who missed out on the games, real quick score check. We talked about it earlier. Cavs over the Jazz, 118-114. LeBron James, 30 points for the Cavs. Typical night in the office. Washington gets blown out at home in the Kevin Durant Bowl by Oklahoma City, 125-101.
No Bradley Beal. That's been a pretty common thing. If they don't have Bradley Beal and John Wall, they don't play as well.
Basically, Beal was out tonight, but Kevin Durant got hurt as well too. So hopefully the Durant injury is not serious. Durant did finish the game with 14 points and 10 rebounds and 4 assists in 17 minutes.
Yeah, he was playing well.
Russell Westbrook, another night of the office, a triple-double, 22, 11, and 11. Washington was led by by Gortat with 15 points for Washington. Miami 101-88 over the Lakers. The Lakers were without Kobe Bryant due to back spasms. And Mike Trendell is reporting that, sorry, Orlando fans, Kobe Bryant is listed as out as of right now. He's going to check himself in the morning and see how he does. But Bryant is having back issues, and he did miss tonight, and there's a good chance he'll be out tomorrow night versus Orlando. 101-88, Chris Bosh, 30 points for Miami.
So is it safe to say that Orlando is not worthy of his farewell tour presence? I mean, is that what this is?
I could care less if Kobe plays tomorrow night.
I mean, for me,
I just wanted to throw that kind of vain thought process that people think of Kobe Bryant. I don't necessarily think that's his feelings. He probably does have tightness in his back, and at this point, he doesn't want to play with any pain.
If I'm going to a Lakers game right now, I'm not going to see Kobe Bryant. I'm going to see Julius Randle, D'Angelo Russell, and Jordan Clarkson. End of story.
Fair point.
I'm going to see Ryan Kelly.
Well, I'm not going to see D'Angelo Russell at all. Going to see, seriously, he needs to get better.
Well, no, only reason why Mark didn't want to see D'Angelo Russell is because D'Angelo Russell didn't come to Philadelphia. But Knicks, again, on the road, beating the Raptors 111-109. Carmelo Anthony, 25 points for the Knicks. For the Raptors, 29 points from DeMar DeRozan, and he misses a layup down the stretch that could have tied the game for the Raptors. Raptors have lost 3 games in a row to 3 different and interesting opponents. I mean, the last 3 games, Miami, now the Knicks, and they also lost to Orlando on Friday, so it's kind of an interesting week for them. Boston, 99-83 over the Milwaukee Bucks. 20 points from Isaiah Thomas starting in the role again for Marcus Smart, who was out again. The Bucks, it was an ugly performance tonight. I mean, outside of Monroe, 17 and 14, even though he had a double-double at halftime. Jabari Parker, it's a positive thought. He did score 8 points in 24 minutes, but, they didn't get much on the floor from anybody else, and they were poor behind the three-point line, and you got to give Boston a lot of credit.
Yeah, defensively, Boston is one of those teams, and it's something. I'm not always right. I don't want to feel like that, but I did say that Boston was an interesting team this year, and I told you guys that they are a playoff team, them and Detroit. And so far, I'm looking pretty good.
We're only 2 weeks in the season.
I agree, but I'm looking good so far.
Also, we talk about the Hornets 104-95 over Minnesota, and also the New Orleans Pelicans win their first game of the season. Can we get some kind of cheering and clapping noise from the audience back there?
No, you get nothing.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks, Chris. 120
Chris does not love the Pelicans.
I'm honestly a 76ers fan, so when they get off the schneid, then they get some applause.
They're never going to get off the schneid.
No applause will be coming.
We're going to break on this one. 120-105 for the Pelicans on that win tonight. Anthony Davis did hurt himself. Hopefully nothing serious. The Pelicans were led by Ryan Anderson, 25 points and 11 rebounds for the New Orleans Pelicans. We're going to take a quick break here on Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC. We'll close out the show right back here in a few minutes.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the live debut of Ghosts of Christmas Eve at the Amway Center Saturday, December 12th.
This is the beat of sports.
36 hours ago, if the football team does not make the statement that it did, I don't know if we're at this point. Maybe it was the decision by the football team to take the stand that they did, that drew the coverage, become more vocal, that led to change. The key now is the president's gone. What else does the university do to make those that have demanded change feel as if it's legitimate?
The beat of sports with Marc Daniels.
9 a.m. weekdays on FM 96.9 The Game.
Welcome to Late Night Parents. I'm your host, Ted Hicks. We have a weekly podcast where we sit down and talk with game changers in the sports, technology, education fields. We even do product reviews and giveaways. Why, you ask? Because we're all parents. So if you're ready for an up-close and personal look, then you can check out our podcast. New episodes are available every Thursday. Catch us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. That's Late Night Parents. The site is latenightparents.com.
Time for Riding Shotgun with a Gunslinger. Tough questions for football tough guy Brett Favre.
Dear Brett, my son's football team needs an awesome name. Any ideas? First, go to favorites.com for a great auto quote from Farm Bureau. For team names, try metallic animals like Silver Sharks or the Pewter Pandas. Okay, maybe not the Pewter Pandas.
Great answer. Get your quote with local agents, great rates, and fast claims at favorites.com. From Farm Bureau Insurance.
Listeners, now I know you've heard of this up-and-coming brand Hoop Culture, which is headquartered right here in Orlando, Florida. But here's something that you didn't know. They are opening a flagship store in Fashion Square Mall, downstairs right in front of the movie theater. That's right, the brand that has brought you the iconic Eat, Sleep, Ball design is bringing their streetwear brand to retail. Stay ahead of the fashion trends. Go visit them online at hoopculture.com or follow them at Hoop Culture. Our listeners save 30% off your next order. Use the code RADIO at checkout.
Hi, folks. Rob Gino, the Boat Wrench Radio Show, heard live here every Saturday morning from 9 to 10. Since 1988, Boat Wrench has serviced and repaired all major makes and models of stern drives and outboard engines. We are authorized dealer for Johnson, Evinrude, Suzuki, Nissan, and Tohatsu outboard motors, along with Volvo Penta stern drives. Visit us at 720 North Highway 1792 in Longwood and see the new outboard models on display along with our antique outboard collection. We also have a huge parts department and continually expanding ship store. So visit us at the store or at boatwrench.com and let Boat Wrench be your full-service marine center.
We're all born with the blues, whether we want to admit it or not. Though you'll truly experience the blues from a different yet very unique perspective when you visit Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues. At Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues, you'll experience some amazing sounds from aspiring, talented musicians in the blues genre. Be sure to download Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues Android app from Google Play Store and get wired to the Rattled Beach Show on Friday nights. Blues on. YippieKiYayBlues.com.
Looking to expand your reach and following in all platforms of media? Need a jumpstart in expanding your brand to all markets across the world? SOFO is here for you. SOFO means something for everyone, and they help expand your business through all platforms of media. Need to grow on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram? Their experienced team expands your brand and puts your business in places you would have never been before. Call SOFO at 407-607-9862 or follow SOFOELLC on Instagram and Twitter.
Hey fans, this is Eric Kohler, stadium voice of UCF football. We invite you to tune in to EK Sports every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. as we feature the preferred picks of the week, insured by our good friends at Preferred Benefits Consultants, where it's always fun to pick those games of the week, but never a time to gamble with your health care. Find a Preferred Benefits Consultant at OrlandoHealthExchange.com. That's the letter X, OrlandoHealthExchange.com, and start saving today.
Stay in the game on iHeartRadio. Download the app for free at 969thegame.com.
We are back for the final segment, Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC. 407-916-8255 is the number to check in with us if you're in Orlando, or toll-free 800-729-8255 to check in with myself, Mark Johnson, Paul Myers, Zach Oliver, here in the last 10 minutes of the show. And guys, real quickly, one topic we didn't get into tonight, I think I'm going to want to touch up real quick before we go, is there's so many guys in the NBA have so much talent, but there's so many guys with the talent that don't play very well. Don't play up to their potential. We talked about this in the pre-show. For me, it's Rudy Gay. It's the most annoying player in the NBA because the guy has top 15, top 10 talent, and somehow plays top 100 most nights. Especially right now with DeMarcus Cousins now coming back from injury, Rudy Gay didn't do very much in the absence. They were looking for a scoring option and somebody to take what Boogie Cousins was giving them offensively, and Rudy Gay was just throwing clunkers and clunkers and clunkers every single night. And it's gotten to the point where Rudy's played for so many different teams, I've kind of lost count of how many teams he's played for. The talent is there. Yeah, 3 teams, but it seemed like it's been way more than that. But the talent is there.
But feels like it, yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like he's been playing for so many different teams because he doesn't do anything. Like, he puts up empty numbers on teams. You look at Memphis, you're talking about Toronto, now in Sacramento, and the teams haven't gone anywhere. Memphis got extremely better once he was traded. Toronto's gotten better since he's traded. I wonder what happens if Sacramento trades him, how good they're going to be. So I'm going to ask the guys in the panel, if there's one guy that has the talent that you see that doesn't play up to it, who is it? Like I said, my choice is Rudy Gay. Mark, who do you got?
Oh man, it's quite a few. I think I'm gonna go with a guy who had a good game tonight, Dion Waiters. What happened to him? I mean, this is a guy, Philadelphia guy, a guy tough as nails, really can get in the paint, really can create off the dribble. this guy just really has not found his game. You know, I mean, with his ball handling ability and his ability